I would like to walk through the first couple of challenges and levels from the very first game hacking village that was at the cybersecurity conference DEFCON 32. I do hope to showcase the other levels and challenges in other videos, but this can be the very start and sort of the introduction to some game hacking. We will need to do a little bit of setup and get our environment ready at the start of this video, but we can go ahead and dive in by opening our web browser. I'm in a fresh Windows virtual machine, which is really recommended if you do some of the game hacking work. You probably want to be using the operating system that the game runs on. So again, fresh install, so I am just using Microsoft Edge as my browser here, forgive me, but I'm online at gamehacking.gg. This is the website that they had showcased to be able to bring this to life, and with that, we have the very first game hacking village and workshop over at DEFCON. They note here, the goal of our community is to learn and ultimately increase the security within modern video games. They say here, we do not endorse cheating in online games. Probably a good thing to add in, and I'll make that disclaimer just as well. This is all just for education. But let's scroll down and dig into this and see how we can play the game from DEFCON 32. Of course, this was a live event during the conference, and that has passed, it's over now, but you would actually interact with this website, ctf.gamehacking.gg. If I click into this, unfortunately it is down at the time of recording, but we do still at least have the files and the objectives so we can walk through this and learn. They do include a gamehackingGG.zip file or an archive that we can download, and that'll include the game itself and all the data and resources we might need. So we'll go ahead and download that, and they also link a Unity CTF guide. This has some good instructions to help get into action here. It says the purpose of this game is to teach basic concepts related to game hacking and security. It's a completely offline game, which means you as the user, you have access to the entirety of the program and all the game controls. This is a great place to start if you're unfamiliar with basic game hacking concepts. And I'll be the first to admit, I need that introduction. I need a little bit of the hand-holding. I'm not super smart in game hacking, but I'd love to learn a little bit more, so I'm really excited to dig into this. So let me get to my desktop here, and now I want to open up the File Explorer and move into my Downloads folder. We have that Game Hacking GG zip archive that we just downloaded, so I'll open that up and we have all these files here. I'll go ahead and click Extract All. We can go ahead and extract this just in our Downloads folder. It'll make its own directory for itself, and then we'll create a shortcut just so we can easily access the game from our desktop. When that is complete, we should be able to go ahead and see all the files here, and one of the executables, Game Hacking GG. That is our game, so let me go ahead and right-click to create a shortcut. Now I'll just simply cut that and then paste it over on my desktop. Right-click there, and we're good. So let's go see what this game is that we can play to learn some game hacking. Oh, of course, hey, Windows Smart Screen coming into action here. Defender saying, look, this is weird. We haven't seen this file before. You know what? That's okay. I'm willing to trust it. Let's run anyway. And now we get to see this thing start up. It's made with Unity, and here we are at the menu for Game Hackers. DEFCON 32, we could either start the game, select a specific level, or just exit out of the application. Level select is pretty convenient as you're cruising through this, and maybe you just want to hop to where you left off previously, but let's go ahead and click Start, and let's see this game in action. Here we are. Okay, I guess I've got a, I don't know, like a blue chiclet. You can see the instructions up here. Move is WASD. We can walk around just like that. Open our inventory with the letter I on our keyboard. And escape will likely close out of that if we don't have anything in our inventory right now. Looking good. And escape will also pause the game, where we can either resume the level that we're on or go back to level select or go back to the main menu. No, I can just walk around. Holding down shift lets me move a little bit faster. Ooh, I like this. Dangerous to go alone. Take this. If you can, anyway. So I have what looks like a gun here. Oh! That might have been a little bit loud. Hang on, let me turn down the turret over there, apparently in the top right. And trying to, hey, grab the gun, what it looks like. It just actually has the turret fire some bullets at me and hurts my health. Presumably the gun health just as well, but that is the gist. What else do I do here? It's just gonna kill me, right? Okay, yep, I died. Of course, we can restart the level or get back to the main menu, and I think, for now, it's worth us, hey, getting back to the guide and actually get an idea for what tools we might need, but now we've got our game ready for us. If I get back to Microsoft Edge, I do want to show you here. We have actually tried to take note of this because that CTF or Capture the Flag game board is no longer online. We have actually tried to make a little save copy of it over on GitHub, github.com/JHLLC. For John Hammond here, we've got a Unity-game repository that is public and you can go access it, so you'll be able to see the objectives for all of the different levels, as well as a little write-up and solution. Big shout out to my video editor Nordgaren here, one of our editors who's always doing incredible stuff, and he's written all this up. And let me say that Nordgaren actually does game hacking. Like, I'm a total noob. I'm still trying to learn the ropes here, but he's like cutting up mods and everything for Elden Ring and Dark Souls and all this cool stuff that I want to learn a lot more. He notes, though, when he's reversing modern games, he'll generally use Cheat Engine and some kind of decompiler like Ghidra. In this case, C# assemblies are much easier to understand, and since we're in Unity, that's kind of where we'll be at in this case. So we will be using that Cheat Engine utility. We'll also dig into DNSpy when we do some code patching. We'll do that in another video because there are a lot of levels here, about 9 of them, and I'd like to cruise through the first couple, but here's a quick little showcase walkthrough of how you might be using DNSpy and also Cheat Engine to be able to get this stuff in action. I want to do the demo and showcase this all in the moment, but I do want to bring to your attention that this is a resource available to you. And the Unity CTF guide from gamehacking.gg in the website even mentions, look, hey, you could be using Cheat Engine as a suggested program to download, as well as DNSpy, Melon Loader, and some other sweet things. So let's go ahead and grab Cheat Engine. We know that we'll want that, and this is online at cheatengine.org and their downloads page. Let me go ahead and click that big button to download Cheat Engine. The latest version right now is 7.5. Make sure that you avoid all the ads that pop up and whine and complain and make a whole lot of noise here, but it'll automatically start downloading Cheat Engine 7.5, and that is the one that you want here. Make sure you only get it from this website and not some sketchy malware, rat, whatever, just anywhere else on the internet. Now that that is downloaded, we can go ahead and open that downloads folder, double click on our Cheat Engine 75 installer here, and that'll get things ready. This will prompt with user account control. Obviously, you installing some software will need those administrator privileges. Being inside of a virtual machine, that is A-OK for us. So we'll go ahead and click yes, I do speak English. It'll pop up, welcome to the Cheat Engine installer. Next, yep, we don't need to install any other of the fancy add-ons, AVG, antivirus crap. Let's just skip all those and let it install the product here. Thanks for installing Cheat Engine. Go ahead and click Finish to close the installer, and it'll launch the application just as well. Maybe we should do a whole nother video series walking through the tutorial of Cheat Engine. I think that would be a lot of fun, but we don't need to right now. Let's just get into the action. We also don't need any cheat tables for the moment, but that will be a lot of fun to dig into in the future. Now I've opened up Cheat Engine 7.5, and now we want to be able to work with our game. Before we do, though, I just have one last thing that I do want to help set up for us, because you might have noticed when we actually run our game, when we fire up Unity, it goes full screen. It takes up the whole computer monitor and display. So whenever we want to actually work with Cheat Engine, oftentimes we'll have to hit like Alt-Tab on your keyboard, and that'll move you around to different windows that you have open, but it'll also take us out of the game. So that's a little annoying whenever I want to click into it and press Alt-Tab to get back to Cheat Engine. Moving back and forth is really annoying. And in some cases, it might even like crash a game that won't want to be pulled out of full screen as frequently as you might do as you're flopping back and forth between the game and Cheat Engine. So there are a couple tricks that we can use here. Actually, if you hold down Alt and then press Enter while you're in the game, it'll take it out of full screen mode. And now you can see I have a window title bar up here, and I can drag and move this around. I can't seem to resize it though, which is a little annoying. I just grabbed Cheat Engine here, but I can't do that for the game. So that's kind of a nuisance, but better than nothing, right? And we haven't really solved the problem yet either, because whenever I click into Cheat Engine or try to move back to the game or interact with the game, I can't see Cheat Engine to be able to look at values and all the tech and all the details here, because I need to click into one or the other. So I want to show you some way you might be able to do that if we have Cheat Engine always on top, like a floating window that never particularly goes away. If I right click normally at the top, it used to be an option in older versions of Windows to just easily let you say, hey, keep this window on top all the time. Now, you might have to do this with some other utilities like Power Toys. And that's an official one that's, hey, coming from Microsoft. Microsoft Power Toys allows you to do a ton of sweet stuff, but one of the nice utilities is just keeping a window always on top. Let me go ahead and click Install Power Toys, and that way we can pull the file from GitHub. Super simple, super easy. Let's just go ahead and download either a per user or machine-wide Hex64 or ARM processor instance here. Let me go ahead and grab that. And we'll walk through another usual install process, quick and easy. Open file, we'll go ahead and accept that license. We'll want to install that. Yep, good by me. And then just clicking next all the way through the installer, letting it do its thing. You'll see the installation successfully completed, and we'll be able to work with Power Toys. There is a little notice here, and let me see if I can move my face super quick. We've detected an application is running with administrator privileges. That'll end up preventing some Power Toys capability unless you let Power Toys run as admin. And the one that it's actually thinking of is Cheat Engine, actually. If I minimize this window, let me get back to my desktop here, you could actually see, close out of all this, like the little Cheat Engine icon has that big shield here so that whenever I double click on it, it wants to run as local admin with the user account control pop-up. Let me click no super quick because I actually want to make sure that Power Toys will be able to run as administrator. If I go ahead and click run as administrator, opening this up, let's hit yes here. That will open up this dashboard of all the settings, and the general way up top here actually allows us to change whether or not we are running as the administrator or whether or not we will always run as administrator. Looks like it didn't stick when I tried to click it, hey, run as administrator through the start menu. So let me see if I can restart Power Toys as administrator. Gives me my user account control pop up again. We'll hit yes here. And now going back to those settings, let me see if I can toggle this to always run as administrator. Okay, pretty easy. Now the always on top option here, we can click into that and see, look, the way that it's actually in use when it's enabled, and you can toggle this on or off with the flipping the switch here. Activating it is actually by pressing a hotkey, Control and Windows all at the same time, and the letter T. You could change that, of course, and maybe you don't want to allow when it's in game mode or not, but that's nice and easy for us. What I could now do with that running is actually open up our game hacking game, and I can drag this window and now open up Cheat Engine. Again, it's going to have administrator privileges, so I'll hit yes there. But now, if I use that Control Windows T, that window is now set to always be on top. So let me drag over my game, looking good, and Cheat Engine, and now I can actually, hey, toggle into one or the other when it's not taking up the full screen. Then I can finally get something working. I've had to futz with it a little bit, and maybe you don't have that issue if you're working with the second monitor, but I have found that, hey, at least it's a little kind of convenient to be able to see Cheat Engine and still be able to interact with the game and have things manipulate and move as you work. That way I can click into Cheat Engine, I can click back into the game, I can click back into Cheat Engine, I can click back into the game, and you'll usually be able to keep the window A-OK invisible. Let me switch sides here so this is a little bit easy to see, but now we finally have our environment ready. We've got the game installed, we've got Cheat Engine set up, and we even have Power Toys in action to try to make this process a little bit easier for us if you're just working with one monitor or in a video like I am. So now let's try to see, can we hack the game? Can we actually use some little tricks and, I don't know, finally get the gun here without getting shot by the turret over and over and over again and then dying when we lose health? That will be level 1, and we'll dig into it in just a second, but please, if I may, let me tell you about the sponsor of this video, Vanta. Whether you're starting or scaling your company's security program, demonstrating top-notch security practices and establishing trust is more important than ever. Vanta automates compliance for SOC 2, ISO 27001, HIPAA, and more, saving you time and money, while helping you build customer trust. You can streamline security reviews by automating questionnaires and demonstrating your security posture with a customer-facing Trust Center, all powered by Vanta AI. Over 7,000 global companies like Atlassian, Flow Health, and Quora use Vanta to manage risk and prove security in real time. And you get a special offer of $1,000 off Vanta with my link below in the video description, jh.live/Vanta for $1,000 off. That's a discount just for our community, jh.live/Vanta for $1,000 off.
Huge thanks to Vanta for sponsoring this video.
Okay, now I'm going to get back to the GitHub repository JHLLC in the Unity-game so that we could take a look at some of the files, some of the instructions, and hey, a little bit of a write-up so we can learn here how to do some of this game hacking. So let me click into level 1, load this page here, and the objective is pretty simple. Just get the gun. For some reason, you have to kill the gun to get it, and there's a turret in the corner of the room, as we've seen, that shoots you when you run into the gun in the middle of the room. And it'll damage both of you. But the gun has slightly more health than you, so as you saw, we died every time we try to get it. But you are armed with Cheat Engine, so we can manipulate the game. So with both our video game and Cheat Engine open, we actually want to tell Cheat Engine to, hey, go look at this game. We need to specify what the process is, or the program that's running on our computer, for it to actually attach to it and select that. You can see this sort of, glowing box of the magnifier computer screen. The tooltip will tell us here, hey, that's how we can select a process to open. Now we can choose whatever program or process we might like, but of course, we want to drill down into our video game, that Game Hacking GG application that is open. So let me click that to open it, and now this is kind of really cool. If I actually go start the game here, we'll go ahead and get into the first level. I'll get Cheat Engine back open and use that Control Windows T trick to make sure that is always on top. Now I can move around and see both of these, but let me talk about this for a little bit, because we want to go grab that gun, right? But we don't have enough health. So can we manipulate our health variable? That counter looks like 100 over on the top. And this is the whole idea behind Cheat Engine. It's honestly really, really cool. It's saying like, look, when you're playing a video game, you've got your health, you've got your ammo, or you've got all these values that maybe you want to tweak and tune, but they are things that will change as the game progresses. So what you can do is you can sort of take a snapshot and say, look, right now, I know that I have 100 as my value for health. So let me scan through and look through all of the computer memory and try to find what address or what location that value maps to. And we want to narrow it down by changing or decreasing that value, like purposefully getting hit or getting hurt and decreasing our health value so that we can now scan again and go find, okay, what actual addresses changed along with it. And let me show you that, right? Look, let's say we're going to end up looking for writable memory. Because of course, that health variable, that value will change. So it's got to be able to be modified, in which case it is writable. We don't need to look for executable though, so we do want to make sure writable is checked, but executable is not in this case. We want to look for a value like 100, because we know that's the health value we're looking for. And we want to specify a scan type. Exact value is probably what we're really looking for right now, but of course you could change the condition to something bigger than, smaller than a given value, value between, and whatever. The value type is especially important though, because this is the sort of structure, the type of data that is stored in memory, right? You might be familiar with maybe a D word, like a 32-bit number that's stored on some processors and computer memories and all, right? And this could vary. This could value between float, double, strings, array of bytes. But look, in our case, let's just look for all. So with all that out of the way, let's start our first scan to try to find the memory address of our health, and that value there. We know right now it starts at 100. So we'll enter that, looking for the exact value with all value types, and let me click First Scan. Now you can see it tries to load and look and all this at the very top, and you'll see a ton of found addresses, just about 7,000 of them. So that's not super duper helpful, right? That's a whole lot to dig through. But let me actually expand this out so we can see it a little bit better. Note all the addresses here, like the hexadecimal zeros, 4D, B, 3F, whatever, all that on the left-hand side. Look, we don't need to drill down into all that right now, because we can get a little bit sharper and smarter when we take a next scan. When we try to see, okay, if we were now to intentionally get hurt, what does that value look like as it changes? So let me go walk over to the gun, and remember the turret over on the top right. I know Cheat Engine is in the way and you can't really see it, but if I were to now intentionally bump into this and change my health to 90, as you can see, let's start another next scan, 90. I'll click that button, next scan, and ooh, take a look. That has narrowed down all of that to this one single address. Because the value is 90, it was first 100. So let me double click on this value. And that'll be added down below. And if we were to now double click on this, we could change the description if we wanted to say, okay, maybe that is our health, maybe. That's fine. Let's go ahead and hit OK. Now I could change and manipulate that value, right? Could I double click on that? Yeah, let me change that value back to 100. Let me hit OK, and ooh, you see that? Right over on the left-hand side, our value, our actual health changed to 100. So that's interesting. Could I go back to the game and kind of bump into this again? And oops, okay, I'm hit. I'm back to 90. But what if I could just lock the value of health? Like, we could just set that to some crazy high number. We could manipulate it, do whatever we wanted to with that value. Like, it could be leet, 1337. But I want to make that locked to a given value that I'll specify. We set it to this, but if I click this checkbox for active, now I will no longer be able to take damage. It should actually freeze that value. So let's go try it out. Let me move Cheat Engine over to the side and let me go bump into the gun. Whoops. Ooh, I got hit. You can see the turret fired, but my health went down to like 1327 for maybe one frame, but now brought right back up to 1337. And the gun is still losing its own health value. You can see that going down over and over and over again. So this is it. This is all that we needed to do to lock our health value and do that with Cheat Engine. Take a look, you can see the flag is present there, and let me minimize Cheat Engine so I can go grab this flag. We will need to jump with the space bar to go get it, and now I've got a gun. I don't think that's something I would ever say in any other usual videos on this channel. Can I click to shoot? Oh yeah, okay, goodness, I can. I'm gonna move my face for a little bit because you can see just down below on the bottom right, it'll show the ammo counter. Like if I click one more time to fire, that's decreasing. So, I wonder what level 2 might be. Let's go now try to, hey, get our flag and move on to level 2. I'll hop down here. And now we are at level 2. Oh, geez. Okay, what is that thing? Let's pause the game with the escape key and go figure out what our next task is. And by the way, if you are looking through Nordgaren's write-up and solution here, it walks through everything that we have done just as well. You can see a first scan, you can see the next scan as we toggle that as we're exploring, bringing these down to the address list. But with that, we'll go ahead and actually see the flag that we've got. It said, hey, this is the first flag, Woot. That was in our inventory if we actually opened up with letter I. But really, I'm not too concerned with the flag value themselves. I just want to be able to learn how to use Cheat Engine and to know a little bit more about this whole game hacking world. So level 2, we have to kill the Unicorn Raft. The Unicorn Raft has enough HP to absorb all of your bullets. If only there was a way to have infinite bullets. Okay, so back in our game, we can see that, we can start the fight with the Unicorn Raft. Okay. I like the dialogue up here. Oh, geez. Oh, that'll kill me. That'll attack me for sure. I am out of bullets. Okay, so that's the problem, right? We need more bullets. Let me try to restart this level. Let me hit escape, restart level. And I actually want to start a new scan with Cheat Engine. So let me click new scan right up here and kind of reset, get us back to a blank canvas. Let me move myself to the other side of the screen so you can see our ammo counter down on the bottom right. But now that we have kind of that general idea and the gist of how to use Cheat Engine, let's try that process again to track down our ammo. It might not be as easy, but let's try it. We just want to look for a value of 10 in this case, right? So let's start a first scan if we were trying something new like we did. And you'll see, okay, all the addresses that it's looking for, there are a heck of a lot of them. My goodness. And let's see if we can now fire the gun. Over here, that value has changed down to 9. Whoops, I accidentally hit D all that time in the input box. So we'll enter 9 here, try to do a next scan. And we're still looking for writable memory, by the way. Like, we have not removed that checkbox. We aren't looking for executable because, look, it's just modifying that ammo counter as we start to shoot and fire. So let me hit next scan and see, can we narrow that down? Oh, geez, just about 12,000. All right, let's do it again. I shot the value. Let's change that to 8. Let's hit next scan. Okay, doing a little bit more. Let's bring it down even further. Let's get to 7. Hit next scan. There we go. We're down to double digits at least now, 10. Let's keep that process going. 6. Oh, shoot. I actually, goodness, I shot the unicorn goose raft thing and it killed me. We did narrow this down, though, to about 3 different memory addresses, so we could explore those, kind of take a look. Look, do any of those match? Well, I guess they all match the criteria thus far, but we aren't sure which of those are actually our ammo. And I don't know if that will change or reset if we were to start a new round, so let's try to restart the level and then see, hey, can we monitor any of these addresses? Let me select all of them. I'm holding down Shift, and if I drag them into our memory view, does that work? It does. Now I can right-click each of these and then try to add them to a group. Down at the very bottom, you see that Add to New Group. We can call that Ammo, maybe. Hit OK. Do you want address version? No, I don't think we do. We just want a plain raw group. So let me experiment here. Can I just change this value to like 15? I'll hit enter on that. Well, I don't see our ammo count change. And remember, we have kind of a variable here that we aren't accounting for, and that we restarted the game. We restarted the level, so that memory address probably isn't going to actually be what we think it is. Obviously, we saw our ammo change to 10 when we restarted the game. It wasn't 6 as we started with within Cheat Engine. So, okay, looks like this was a bad call, but that was worth our learning. Let's go ahead and remove that whole group, and with that, we'll start again. So remember that process. We'll start a new scan. Let me actually get a new level going. I'll restart here, and let's walk through this once again. That's okay. No harm, no foul. We're just trying to practice here. Let's start a first scan value of 10, and let's do that process again. Next scan as it goes down to 9, etc., etc. Can I change the value here to 15? Okay, that doesn't make the change, and I don't know exactly what those could be, right? There are 3 values that change. Maybe they're like rendering in the UI or the user interface some way, somehow. How about this? Can I shoot? Does that work? Oh, that one did. Wait a second. Which of those worked then? That was a good learning point. We still need to like actually try to fire the gun and validate that, okay, the change will be made. Let me change this top value to 20 and then try to fire. Nope, brings us down to 12. Let's change this value to 20. Nope, that brings us down to 11. So this bottom one, that address, thanks to our deductive reasoning here, probably is our actual ammo. So let me go ahead and enter like quad 9, whatever, over 9,000. And now we can actually try to go beat up the unicorn raft. Let me keep beating him up. WTF is your problem? Oh, that's fun. You are dead, except we could kill it. Nice. Let's go grab that flag. Hello? Okay, I can jump. And now that should be added into our inventory. So let me press I on my keyboard, and we can see, hey, there it is. There is our unicorn flag. That is, oops, sorry, Mr. Unicorn. I like that infinite ammo, infinite power. Don't forget, we could have just locked that value or frozen it by clicking that little checkbox there. Sweet. Let's go back to our game, and let's get to level 3. Unicorn Raft says, I'm back, you jerk. Let's see you get to me now. Okay. He has a shield, so we can't as easily shoot, right? And will he try to attack me if I... Oh, no. I guess not. Can I run into him? Nope, that still hits me. Okay. Can I break the shield? Let me add more ammo. We can do that with Cheat Engine because we know the process now. Don't forget, our health and ammo values would have changed for this level, so we could actually remove the addresses that we've seen thus far and start that scan process once again. I think if we wanted a clean slate, we could probably restart the level, and that way we could, hey, track down those values and those memory addresses super easy. And let's combine what we've learned from those 2 levels to do this again. So let's lock that, and let's go see if we can now beat up our unicorn raft with infinite ammo. I think we can sprint around him and then try to maybe defeat the shield. Okay, cool. We got some hits in. Okay, cool. Yeah, we just get on the corner, it works. One thing that we could try to do, perhaps, is like look and find where the rotation value is for the unicorn raft, and maybe we could either patch it in the game if we wanted to use DN Spy, and we'll do that next. In the next couple of videos, we will finally get using DN Spy and make changes to the game. But Cheat Engine works really, really well for kind of manipulating some values as you're playing. We've got the flag, we're able to defeat it, and we'll see that is, hey, the best defense is offense. Looking good. Let's go over to level 4 now, and we will save that for another video. But I hope that was a lot of fun. I hope that was kind of cool being able to play and use Cheat Engine, something that I've never made videos on before. And we got to experiment with some game hacking, at least the snapshot approach of trying to find the delta or difference in values as they're changed and manipulated playing the game. I, for one, think that is super cool, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's cool to be able to, make a video game into some cybersecurity or hacking content, at least slowly but surely. I know we are just dipping the toes in the water. But please let me know if you like this, if you'd like to see more of this, if we should kind of continue this and do even more. With all that said, I'm done rambling. Please do give some love to our sponsors, link in the video description, and do all those YouTube algorithm things. Like, comment, subscribe, and especially thank you for watching. With that, I'll see you in the next video.